Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll do chapter 3 of geography. And as you know that I'm continuing the series of class 7th geography. So here I am with third chapter, and the name of our chapter is Our Changing Earth. So let's learn this chapter. Lithosphere broken down into number of plates is called lithospheric plates. And plates keep moving very slowly, a few millimeter in a year. Okay, so lithosphere is divided into number of plates and we call it lithospheric plates. And these plates keep moving and keep moving very slowly, a few millimeters in a year. Okay, and this movement is because of molten magma inside our earth. Okay, so this movement occurs due to movement of molten magma inside our earth. Then two types of movements are there which divided on the basis of force, and that is endogenic force and exogenic force. Endogenic force, the force which act in the interior of the earth. Okay, so the force which act the force which act in the interior of the earth, we call it endogenic force, and the force which act on the surface of earth, we call it exogenic force. Then come to volcano. What is volcano? A volcano is a vent or an opening in the earth crust through which molten material erupts suddenly. Okay, so a volcano is an opening in the earth's surface through which molten magma comes out. Then come to earthquakes. When lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates and can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquakes. So when lithospheric plates move inside our earth, it causes vibration, and those vibration we call it earthquake. Then focus. The place in the earth crust where the movement starts is called focus. Okay, so the place where movement starts is called focus. Then epicenter. The place on the surface above the focus is called epicenter. So the surface above the focus is called epicenter. Great damage occurs closest to epicenter, and a strength of earthquake decreases away from the center. Okay, so closest to the epicenter, great damage occur. Okay, and the strength of earthquake decrease away from center. Earthquake can't be predicted, but some common method adopted by peoples are like we study animals' behavior. Fish on the pound agitated, and a snake came to the surface. So these are some adopted method by the people. Then come to major landforms. The landscape is continuously worn away by two processes, weathering and erosion. Okay, you know that in some places we found depression, and on the other hand, on other places we found deposition. Okay, so these are the process responsible for those things. Weathering, breaking up of rocks on earth's surface is weathering. Okay, so a big rock when breaks down on the earth's surface, we call it weathering. Then erosion, wearing away of landscape by different agents like water, ice and wind is called erosion. So when landscape is moved by these eroded by these things, we call it erosion. And different agents are water, ice, wind, etc. These eroded materials carried away by transportation by water, wind, etc. and deposited somewhere and create different landforms. So in some places erosion takes place, and in some places deposition takes place. Okay. Then work of a river. The running water in the river eroded the landscape. Okay, so our landscape also eroded by running water. Then there are some terms which is given. Waterfalls. I think many of you have seen waterfalls. When the river tumbles at steep angle over very hard rocks or down a steep valley side is form a waterfall. Okay, so try to find some waterfalls in India. Then meanders. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming a large blade known as meanders. Okay. Then Oxbow Lake. In due course of time, in due course of time, the meanders loop cut off from the river and form a cut-off lake, also known as Oxbow Lake. Then floodplain. As it flood, it deposited layer on fine soil and other materials called sediments along its bank. This leads to formation of flat fertile floodplains. Then come to delta. Each distributary form its own mouth. The collection of sediment from all the mouth form a delta. Okay, I think you all know about Sundarban Delta. It's a very famous delta. Then work of sea waves. The eroded and deposition of sea waves give rise to coastal landform. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. Cracks develop. Over time, they became larger and wider. Hollow-like caves are formed on the rock, are called sea cave. Okay, so when sea wave continuously strike at the rock, their cracks develop. Okay, and over the time they become larger and wider and hollow-like in shape, and it looks like a hollow-like cave. And these are formed on the rock and we call it sea caves. Sorry. Then sea arches. As the activities became bigger and bigger, only the roof of the cave remained, forming sea arches. So it's talking about these activities. Okay, so it become bigger and bigger, then only roof of the cave remain and it forms sea arches. Okay, sea caves here. Further, the erosion break the roof and only walls are left. Those are called stacks. Okay, so here only roof of cave remain and it forms sea arches, and here only walls are left and it is called stacks. Then work of ice. Glacier are river of ice which to eroded landscape. Okay, so glacier is the river of ice, and the glacier also eroded the landscape. The material carried by glacier such as rocks, big and small sand slit, gets deposited and form glacier moraines. Okay, so yeah, one more points. Work of wind. So main agent of erosion and deposition in desert is wind. Okay. Sand dunes. What is sand dunes? Dunes is a mound of sand formed by wind, usually in deserts or in beach area. Okay, so I hope you all are getting my point. Here we came to an end of this chapter. Thanks for watching my video. See you guys in my next video.